Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm not, because Man United have just thrown away a 2-goal lead against Tottenham Hotspur at the White Hart Lane new stadium, whatever you want to call it. It's just so frustrating. After a very good first half from Manchester United, an excellent goal from Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford grabbing his 29th goal of the season. Manchester United were smooth sailing at half-time, 2-0 up. We're looking like we're on course for a big 3 points that would all but confirm our top 4 spot. But then, in the second half, we managed to throw it all away. We allowed Pedro Porro to get a goal. We allowed Son to get a goal. The substitutions from Erik ten Hag probably weren't good enough. We kept sitting back, allowing Spurs to build confidence, allowing the crowd to get into the game. And then, we dropped points. And we had such a fantastic chance in that second half as well. I'm just seeing it being replayed there on the TV screen. Bruno Fernandes nutmegging Christian Romero on the edge of the box and then smashing it off the bar. That goes in, Manchester United win. And Bruno Fernandes has one of the best goals of the season. But unfortunately, it didn't. Let's look at the first half. United's team, we started with Luke Shaw and Lindelof at centre-back. I thought Luke Shaw was excellent in attack and in defence. It was all over the place. And I know we conceded 2 goals in the second half. I think complacency and tiredness has got a lot to do with that. But for me, until Varane and Martinez are available, those are the 2 you go with. I don't want to see Harry Maguire playing in the cup final. And I don't want to see Harry Maguire playing in many Premier League games either. Of course, when you need to rest Luke Shaw or rest Lindelof, carry on, keep doing it. But for me, don't play Harry Maguire. He was injured today. I just prefer Lindelof and Luke Shaw as a centre-back partnership. And if you've got Wan-Bissaka and Dalot available to play as full-back, then that's the way I think we should be going. I thought Wan-Bissaka was very good as well. I was surprised that he got substituted in the second half. Again, if I criticise any of these substitutions and the manager's come out and said he was tired or he was injured or he had a niggle or something, then I do apologise because I don't know that right now, but it seemed like an odd substitution. Eriksen for Fred, I get it, you're changing the midfield, but we lost control of the midfield when we did that. Weghorst on for Anthony, why? Thought Anthony was playing really well, but again, a lot of these guys played 120 minutes at Wembley on Sunday against a very good Brighton team, so it's hard to tell, was the manager making those substitutions to save their legs because they were too tired, because they were feeling it? Maybe there's a few of them that carried knocks and niggles into this game, and so we had to make the changes. But the result of those substitutes were that Manchester United weren't as good. We didn't have control of the game, and we allowed them to grow in confidence and come into it. And it looked like their equaliser was inevitable towards the end, which is what you don't want to see. And we did this against Sevilla at home. 2-0 up, we throw it away. You have to learn to control games. You have to learn to be able to see games out. You have to learn to take your chances when they're there, you know what I mean? You take your chances, teams can't come back at you. Now, it may also be that Man United get a better squad. We make 1 or 2 signings. We don't have Weghorst on the bench. We have some midfielders that we can trust and rely on. We have some goals. Then things start to look a little bit different because you can make substitutions with better quality coming off the bench. But those subs killed us today. And after a good performance in the first half, Jadon Sancho's goal, absolutely fantastic. What a finish it was from Jadon Sancho. He's scored some big goals against big teams now as well. He gets a lot of criticism. He scored against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. He scored against Liverpool at Old Trafford. He scored against Man City at the Etihad. He scored against Spurs today. He scores big goals in big games as Jadon Sancho, and I thought that goal was a fantastic goal today. Marcus Rashford hasn't scored as many goals in recent times, gets another goal as well. I mentioned Luke Shaw's performance in the first half. I thought it was very, very good, but I still keep thinking about that second half, man. What the hell went wrong? What did we do? Why did we let control of that like that? And against a Spurs team that are just so poor. Ryan Mason, you got a supply teacher in the dugout. How are we letting him get a result? The only good thing that might come out of this is Spurs might appoint him permanently because they'll be fooled into thinking he's a decent manager. How did we let that happen? How did we let Son score? The geezer's been moping about, crying all season. And you know what I found funny as well about Son? He celebrates with Ryan Mason, bro. How about you did something for Ryan Mason? Ryan Mason's been at the club for the whole season, He was there under Stellini. He was there under Conte. You're hugging him up now. What's all that about? That don't make sense to me. Yeah, man. Fuck Son and fuck Spurs, but so disappointed at United for dropping those points, because we've got a difficult game coming up now against Aston Villa. I think if we draw or win that game, top four is pretty much done, because the teams behind it aren't going to win all their games, and United aren't going to lose all their games as much as we think that might happen, and we should get enough points to get over the line. But if United lose against Aston Villa, and that's a possibility when you look at the form that they're in at this moment in time under Unai Emery. I know their performance against Fulham wasn't great, but defensively they're not conceding as many goals as they were under Steven Gerrard. And Ollie Watkins looks like a man possessed, scoring goals. They've got the likes of Buendia, McGinn, who can also be a good support act. So they've got talented players in their squad, and they can come. They've got a manager that can get a game plan that gets a result. So United have to be sensible against Aston Villa. We have to make sure we get the win. Right, at the very least, don't lose. And if we do that, top four should be done. I hate this part of the season because it's hard to judge games, because we're not really playing for anything. You know, a few points cements our top four spot. You know, we've got a cup final to look forward to, but apart from that, not much else is going on. So it's kind of hard to judge what's happening. But when you're 2-0 up against this Spurs team that got battered 6-1 off Newcastle, that got booed off the pitch, that got a caretaker in charge, a caretaker that just got sacked, and you allow them to come back into the game, that's poor. That's so poor. I'd have taken, a point before the game, but when you're in that position, that's so poor. And you can see Ten Hag there. I don't know what he's saying, but I can tell by his face he's pissed off. And he will be doing his utmost to bring the players in that we need in the summer, I'm sure. And also, we need to change things up a little bit. This squad still is a work in progress. We still have players there that were deemed not good enough under previous managers. So there's still a squad that needs to be built. There's still players and signings that need to be done. And Erik Ten Hag is working wonders with this squad when it's not, many people expected this squad to finish outside the top four and not win anything. So he's working wonders, but he will be frustrated. And hopefully he will learn from a few of the mistakes he's made in the Premier League this season, because he's not been perfect, he's made them. And next season we'll be able to right those wrongs. I think we've won once against, top 12 or something like that away from home. That's not good enough. So that needs to change. And he'll be learning things about the Premier League. He'll be learning things about his players. And he'll be learning things about his squad that hopefully he can put right. But that doesn't take away the disappointment of not winning the game tonight, because we should have. It was there for the taking. To make it worse, Newcastle went and won as well. Anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you keep it like, comment, share, subscribe. How the hell did Harry Kane get man of the match? I don't know, but I don't have one, because I don't think anyone deserves it. Although Sancho's goal was very good. See you in a bit.